Cortez D. Hopefully that this video can find its hands into the right person, which I think every person is the right person. But before I even go further with this today's Thursday Thought, please subscribe on my YouTube channel, Dr. Cortez D. Sims. Go on my website, Dr. Cortez D. Sims, IG page, and Facebook, whatever platform that you can find it on, because I really want to help many people that can be reached, and I need your help to share it. But before I go even further than that, today's Thursday Thought is, listen, you have to try your best to stop caring so much. Stop caring too much about stuff that's not even a care to that extent. I say it again. Maybe not all maybe a lot of people, I don't know who this goes for, but I can tell you right now, many of us, we care too much. Now, the word care, all right? Care is beautiful. Care is consideration. Care is an act of kindness. Care is an act of love. Extending emotional care because of the way you feel about something in the emotional space. I get it. We've all done it. It's beautiful. But there are many times it can cripple you. It can give you some pain. It can place you in different places emotionally where you will heartbreak yourself thinking that you're going to do something to somebody else because you care too much. All right? The word care in itself is strong because everybody don't care. Now, I use the term quite a bit when I do different facilitation classes, and I say, hey, a lot of times I kind of equal the word care to consideration. All right? So when you consider, that means that you have someone in mind. You are operating in a place of not being selfish. You was thinking about them while you was thinking about you. And in some cases, some of us that may be operating unknowingly, that is kind of dysfunctional, is to think about them more than you think of yourself. So there's a balance to this thing. So what happens is when you begin to consider too much and they may not require that or they may not be asking for that, what I'm saying today is we have to find a balance of kind of shaving it down and placing boundaries of your own self so you won't extend yourself too much. So when you are caring too much, it will put you in different places that is probably not a good place later on. I'll give you a great example. I'll give you just two, and then I'm going to be off of here. A lot of times when you are caring too much or extending yourself too much, it could place yourself in a position to be in high expectations. Now, when you have high expectations on anything, you probably place yourself in the risk of disappointment. I say it all the time that if there's no expectation, then you're not in a risk of disappointment because you're not putting yourself out there. That's number one. Number two, a lot of times we have to understand that seasons changes. And when you recognize the seasons have changed, you have to do a little bit more accepting to say, hey, this person is not in the same place, or this situation is not the same like it was when I was excited about certain different things. And so because of that, we have to accept it and be like, let me just take it for what it is. Because here's the reality, ladies and gentlemen. You've changed. You are evolving if you don't give yourself credit and then you don't celebrate all your wins that's happening. And so when you are going across the lines of having high expectations, number one, and then number two, to go into not accepting that these seasons have changed, then you find yourself doing more than too much. And then some people are not going to tell you, say, hey, thank you, but no thank you. And we'll take that as rejection. We'll take that as when you acting funny, you acting different. But the reality is maybe we haven't accepted what we've evolved. And you have to celebrate yourself, and you have to do more accepting to say, man, even I'm evolving. I'm not the same. I may don't see things too much. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, stop caring too much into other things that doesn't require that type of assistance, that type of attentiveness. All right? And so I don't know who this is for, but I think that it needs to be said because a lot of times we go overboard when just a general act of kindness is enough. And just know that when you do more than too much, now you are just over the limit. You're doing too much. And that's where people get that term from. Hey, you're doing the most. You're doing too much. Or you are stepping over your boundaries, or you overreacting. Everything is over too much and all. And that's because you have to ask yourself, well, how did they get that? Because I put myself over the limit. Because I assumed that they were in the spot where I met them at. And since things are different now, and you have to also accept that you are evolving to be a different person too, then it should definitely shave back how much you are extending care. What I am not saying is I'm not saying that you should not care at all. That's not the same. But when you care and doing more and then more and more, that needs a permission slip from the other person. That needs some type of agreement to say, hey, this is just the way I express myself. Because whenever I hear people say, hey, I love so hard and I care so much, well, that's just one of those things. Hey, usually that's from the foundation of lack. Hey, I haven't received it. It's been a long time, so I'm ready to just dump it all out on you. And I'm just ready to just pour it all on you because I've been stored up for so long. And you have to gradually give people that. Even with babies, you know, it's smart to give them a spoonful or maybe a table, well, not even a tablespoon, but maybe even babies have a small spoon because of the portion and the capacity of what they can take. It makes no sense to give a baby a big old chicken breast and put it in their mouth. They're not going to be able to take that type of level of capacity because you're so excited with the small baby in a different season. You're in a different season trying to carry, no, it just doesn't work like that. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't know who this is for, but once again, stop caring too much. Okay? Give yourself some boundaries, and so you can go ahead and govern your own self accordingly. There's reasons for that. And I just think that this is something that needs to be said because it's going to help you not put yourself in places or create things or even disappoint yourself or create scenarios that you can hurt yourself because you didn't take the time to evaluate how much you should pour out or even enter in or even invite yourself. Always ask, always assess, and try your best to discern. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have for today. This is a Thursday Thought video that I try to give a couple times a month, but please subscribe on all the platforms. This is new to me to even go this far, but I think it would be definitely appropriate. All right, take care, take charge. God bless you.